Hi, I'm Violet Skies from Wales, and this is We Found New Music with Grant Owens.
We're here on Dash Radio for We Found New Music. Violet Skies joins us in the studio. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
We just heard your latest single, Jealousy, which is out now. Violet Skies is from Wales. What brings you to LA, and what are you up to here?
A mixture of stuff, see friends, but also I'm doing some writing as well, which is really fun. It's my favourite thing to do, essentially, so it's nice to come out and do it somewhere else, because the writing is always different depending on where in the world you are. You just get a totally different vibe from different people, different surroundings, and a little bit of jet lag also helps. Yeah. Adds
to the experience, I guess. You're here in LA. You were just before this, you were in Canadian Music Week. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
So I was, there was like a big British thing going on at Canadian Music Week this year. So there was me and lots of other Welsh bands and British bands that went out. So I did a couple of showcases there, which was really nice. One of them was like Drake 150, like this really cool little outdoors bit, like in between like skyscrapers. But Drake wasn't there, which was really sad. Otherwise it was good.
I would have assumed Drake would be there.
Apparently it's not even his restaurant, but gutted.
So you had a good experience. How many shows did you play up there?
Just 3, nice and short, 3 in 2 days, little like acoustic, and then 2 full band shows. So yeah, we flew out with the band, did some fun stuff, and I just like doing shows, to be honest. So it doesn't really matter where I do them. It's just great that I can do them over in other countries.
Absolutely. And so you do the full band shows, but you also do more of a stripped down approach sometimes too.
Yeah, I think in some certain settings, either the venue isn't like quite the right size, or you just want to just show the songs. So we just did like a more stripped back, kind of almost acoustic, not quite acoustic set, which I to be honest, it's like one of my favorite things to do anyway.
Great. And now this is your second time in the U.S. The first time was when you played South by Southwest with your full band as well. Yeah. Then you came here, you were hanging out with the Fickle Friends, and you know, you met a lot of cool writers as well. So you always have a great time here in Los Angeles.
Yes, it's been a lot of fun. Essentially, I kind of just came back for fun, but I'm working as well. Well, technically not really working.
Working, but also enjoying our time
writing,
here. Going to go to some concerts this week and everything. Cool. How long have you been making music?
A really long time, probably properly since I was about 15. Just writing ideas like on guitar when I was first trying stuff out. I did a lot of writing in school. I did a music course for a bit, and then I was in bands, like school bands with just friends when I was growing up. So I did a lot of writing then. In fact, I remember like the first proper full finished song that I wrote that I really enjoyed was, I think I was like 17. And I wrote the lyrics in my English class, and that's like my first real moment. I was like, oh, I could do this. I didn't know I could properly write songs, so it was a really nice moment for me. Describe
your sound a little bit for new listeners and what you've created thus far.
I would say it's like classic songwriting, but the production and the way I approach it is a bit left. So it's quite dark. It's like a mixture of like dark synths, strong bass lines. The vocals are quite prominent, lots of big choruses. It's a little bit, it's soul, elements of R&B, but also like I love people like Joni Mitchell, so a lot of it's like really traditional, slightly alternative, like influenced by a lot of stuff that I loved, but dark production and like big songs.
I think that's what I really connected with. It feels very emotional and just honest, and just like there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean,
a little dark.
I'm a happy person, but I tend to write sad songs. I think that's probably why I'm so happy, because you have to get it out at some point.
Perfect.
And it kind of helps me work through a lot of any issues I have. I'll be like, right, why am I feeling this? Write it out. Sometimes I write songs and like maybe 2 years later I'll listen to them and think, oh, I didn't know that was still relevant to me now. I have to remind myself of stuff. It means sometimes singing songs when they mean a lot to you can be really difficult. Like on stage, sometimes I get a little bit teary now and again. Just if you find yourself halfway through a song, you're like, oh my goodness, I remember how I felt when I wrote this. But that's always, I think when I first started writing, I used to write about issues that weren't really, I was writing about what I thought people wanted to hear as opposed to what I actually felt. And the minute you actually take a leap, and sometimes it can be uncomfortable for the person that you're writing about because eventually they're going to find out it's about them. But if you're just as honest as possible, the song is always better.
That's sometimes the hardest part is being honest and accepting the fact that you're going to be writing about this person that you still see all the time.
I mean, I write about pretty much one person all the time and always have for a very long time. But yeah.
Good for you.
I'm good with it.
Good for you. You mentioned Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
Any other favorites that you've been listening to throughout your life that you kind of call upon for inspiration?
Yeah, Paul Simon, really big fan of him. Billy Joel, lots of like classic songwriting. Sting, I still have a massive obsession with, especially his solo stuff. I absolutely loved. And then I listened to a lot of like bits of classical. I grew up with singing a lot of classical music. Musicals, I love people like Sarah Bareilles, like classic songwriters. And then production-wise, I just listen to loads of random stuff, loads of stuff that I found on SoundCloud. Big fan of people like James Blake. There's a band called China that I love. Trying to think, just essentially like a mix of weird production stuff and classic songwriting.
A good mix of modern and classic. That makes sense. Your band, they seem like quite a few accomplished musicians. You know, we've seen some of the videos online. How did you meet them, and how long you guys been working together?
I've been working with my drummer right from the start, Jonathan Tuitt. He is, Google him, you'll find him all over the internet. He plays for Emily Sando when he's not playing for me. To be honest, he kind of plays for her a bit more.
It seems like you're very lucky to have.
She's slightly busier than me. But yeah, so he's...
So far.
Yeah, he's been with me since the start, and my band kind of rotates depending on who's about, but I have a really strong cohort of about 5 guys that are all essentially all my friends are session musicians. I just met a lot of them when I moved to London. And yeah, they're just super talented people that I hang out with that also happen to play for me. So I'm really lucky.
Yeah, I could tell from the moment I started watching the videos, they all have, their chop. They're really great. Cool. So the live band you're touring with, how many people? 4 or 5?
3.
In addition to you?
Three
feels like a good full band.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You guys are going to be heading off to Germany soon.
Yeah, in like a week or so.
Oh, wow. So what are you doing over there?
It's a weird story, actually. I played Eurosonic back in January, and these amazing German team came to see me, and they really enjoyed what I was doing. So essentially, I'm starting some stuff out in Germany, which is awesome. So this is kind of like my first little step into Europe. So we're playing like a little little pop-up showcase, headline show in Berlin, and then an amazing new night with loads of other wicked German artists. And then we're also then going to Frankfurt to play with Daisy, Kitty and Lewis, which I'm really excited about. Awesome. So we're playing a Women in Music Festival, which is super exciting.
Very exciting. And congratulations on that headline show. And I've seen, you've played like Glastonbury, and you've really had an opportunity to get up there on a lot of stages so far. Yeah. Just getting some cool opportunities.
I've done loads of like great one-off shows, and they've kind of prepared me for eventually, at the time when we come to like properly tour, I think we'll be ready. Live is where I'm the most happy. Because you write songs in the studio, and then it's not really until you get to a show and then you're like, oh, people are singing the words, or people are enjoying it, and people come up to you and say, oh, this song meant something to me, or I found you online and it's so great to see it live. And I feel exactly the same when I go and see other artists. Like, that's where they're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, and we can't wait to see you here live in LA.
Fingers crossed.
We'll have to plan ahead, because obviously we wanted to get you to school night this week, but it was all booked.
Yeah, busy, but yeah.
We'll find some good dates and do it. Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
We played Jealousy at the beginning of the interview. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the track we're going to go into right now, One Day, 3 Autumns.
This is one of my favorites, and it was a weird one because it took so long to come out. I wrote it initially just like I think it was like a jam with 2 of my friends, and we hadn't really got any plans, and we kind of came up with this structure, and then I worked at home on it by myself, and my friend Josh got hold of it without me knowing through one of my friends, and he's worked on Jealousy as well and loads of other stuff, and he'd kind of like completely reworked it, and then I rewrote the verses, and essentially I'd found the phrase One Day, 3 Autumns. I think it was on Tumblr, don't judge me. And it means when you miss someone, that one day feels like forever. So like 3 autumns, it's an amazing Chinese proverb. And it really connected with me because essentially when you're busy and you're in music, you don't get to see people sometimes. So it can just feel like forever. And missing someone it's a really uncomfortable feeling. but it's it's a good way to find out whether you love someone or not. So that's what the song's about. And then I found this amazing film from, I think it's the 1940s, 1930s. It's since out of copyright, hasn't been broadcast since, about two people that get separated in World War One. And I took some like dialogue from a conversation and stuck it on. So the whole song is like a big emotional fest of like missing someone, essentially.
Well, let's check out that dialogue and the full song right now. A great story that Violet Skies just told for us. Check out her music all over the place. Violet Skies, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us.
On We Found Your Music at Dash Radio.
Thank you.
I hate to leave our fine house.
So do I. We never stay settled very long in a home, do we?
We will. I'll always come back.
Solar flare flickering above my vision there keeps me wondering, chasing you.